This plumber and handyman in the United States gains 94 new customers every month. Before working with Overflow Cafe, they had an unoptimized Wix website and wanted stronger keyword rankings, more website traffic, and most importantly, increased revenue. Today, they generate consistent daily revenue from Google, Bing, Maps, social media, ChatGPT, and other major AI platforms without spending more on ads. The key results: 94 new customers every month. They show up for more than 170 keywords. They gain more than 1,000 monthly website visitors and a 300% increase in AI visibility. In this video, you'll see the consultation we did for the client before we started working with them, the problems we found, and the SEO strategy we proposed to help them achieve these results. Let's jump right into the details, and if you'd like us to do the same for your business, don't forget to sign up for a 90-day free trial. Okay, so deetsdoesitall.com. It's a Wix website. It's stylish. Let's take a look. Okay, so very first thing, the logo needs to be clickable. You should be able to click this text and get back to the home page. It's confusing when there's a button here that says welcome, because people will click on it and it actually takes you to the home page. Yeah, that's a bit confusing. Every website, every modern website, you click this logo text, the name of the company, and then it'll actually take you back to the home page, as opposed to having a button like this. This text here should not be clickable because technically this is a menu item which takes people to the services page. And then you've got these menu items here. You've got this photo, so Dietz does it all. Dirty Dietz does it dirt cheap. Okay. I would remove the Spotify. I know it's cool to have, but let's be honest, somebody is looking for a plumber or an electrician or a handyman, and they go to Google and they the information. People are pretty shallow in that respect. When they're looking for information, they typically just want to find the best plumber in their area, and then that's it. And so all the other style on the website won't really matter from a revenue perspective. And I checked your Instagram and Facebook. You've got some good social media going on, so that's really good. Now, another thing is when you mention the areas that you're serving, so proudly serving the Bay Area of California, you really should list out the actual cities. So you make it ridiculously clear to Google, say San Francisco and all the other, list out all the other surrounding cities, in addition to saying the Bay Area. And you'll end up moving up in the rankings faster when you're very specific with Google. Down here in the bottom of your website, this is called the footer. Google does expect certain things there, terms of service, privacy policy, link to the sitemap, so on and so forth. Take a look at the services page. So we would have to build out, so you offer plumbing, that needs its own page. Handyman services, that needs its own page. Electrician, that needs its own page. Technically okay, so painting is its own page, flooring, concrete is its own page. Appliance installation is its own page. Repair is its own page. Drywall, outdoor lighting, power washing, all these things require their own web page. Let's see here. All of this stuff can fall under electrician. Now, in terms of handyman, flooring is its own page. Appliance installation is its own page. Painting, framing, cabinetry is its own page. And let's take a look at plumbing. Yeah, I think all this can fall under a plumbing page. And let's take a look at your portfolio. Beautiful, good. I really like it. I like the images and so on. But we would definitely want to add a lot of text. Each page of your website should have at least 500 words of text, according to Google. And then including this about me. So this about me page is going to be very important. You're going to want at least 1,000 words, and better yet, if you could do 2,000 words. Of course, that's all something we would write while we're building out this website properly. Now, when you go to the contact page, you've got your phone number, you've got email, the business name is up here, so that's good. Google is also looking for business hours, so Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, for example, so they know when you're open, when you're closed. You've got the social media, so that's perfect. And then Google is looking for any kind of information about where you're physically located. And so you say proudly serving the Bay Area, which is good, but Google likes to see something a little bit more specific. It doesn't have to be your exact street address, but at least say the city that you're physically in, and then a zip code and United States or USA. The more information like that that you give to Google, the more specific you are, the better quality traffic they'll send you. You don't want from Pakistan calling you for plumbing services because you're not gonna fly to Pakistan to do their plumbing. You're only gonna serve the people who are in the cities of the Bay Area. But you can't just put, proudly serving the Bay Area, because that it actually, for Google to understand in many instances, you actually want to put something very specific. Okay. And of course, we would do all of those things for you. Let's take a look at where you are in Google right at the moment. So right now you've got basically nothing, 0 authority score, 0 traffic, you're running 0 ads, which is fine, and you've got 0 backlinks. You're ranking for 0 keywords, you basically have nothing. And that's to be expected, as it seems the website is pretty brand new. But the potential is absolutely enormous. Now, I'm only going to take a look at a couple different services: plumber, electrician, handyman. I understand you do a lot of stuff. And so it's a lot of pages that will build out for the website. I don't want to spend time researching each and every one of those things until you actually become a client, because it does take hours to do each one. And I've already spent time doing plumbing, electrical, and handyman. And I'll get into that in a moment. So let's take a look at your services page. That's this page here that lists all of the various things that you do. So Google assigns each page a certain score and a certain ranking. So your home page, that's this page, it's going to rank in Google for several keywords. Your About Me page is going to rank for several keywords. Your portfolio page will rank for some keywords. Your contact page will rank for some keywords. Your reviews page will rank for some keywords. Oftentimes, it's not easy to control what those pages rank for, but it is easy. I mean, I say easy, it's hard work, but it is easier to control what these service pages rank for. So we can create a page that says San Francisco Plumber, and we would build it out. It would have photos, videos, it would have lots of text that we would create for you, and it would end up ranking for San Francisco Plumber or Plumber San Francisco, and dozens and keywords. Let's just take a look at this services page right now and how it basically scores in Google. So that page is scored as you can see here, mediocre, 5.2 out of 10. It says here, your text seems too complex. Consider simplifying it. Consider writing some more text. There's 386 words. It should be at least 681, and technically it should be a lot more. Rewrite hard to read sentences. Replace too complex words. Your title is too long, and it's missing just a lot of words. Now, if I go here, SEO, there's a lot of stuff missing. Tone of voice is good. You've got a decent, well, actually, it says somewhat formal. So we want to tone it down and make it a little bit more neutral. And based on your website branding, even make it a little bit more casual, but the text is very consistent. The tone is very consistent. The readability is pretty bad. The readability is basically 32, which is actually very difficult. Most people in America are going to be reading here at like the level 55, which is about a grade 8 level, especially if they're on their phone. And so you really want to simplify this if you want to rank higher and get traffic. Like I said, there's just not enough words. So we would not only be building out many, many dozens of on your website and adding images and videos and text, we would be raising this overall score to about 8. 8 out of, if you could do 8, 8.5 out of, you're going to be the number one plumber, the number one electrician, the number one handyman in the Bay Area. You're going to have way more customers than you can possibly ever handle. Let's take a look at this phrase, plumber, San Francisco. So let's say I'm in San Francisco and, oh, there's a leak in my bathroom. I go to my phone or my computer and I type plumber, San Francisco, that exact phrase. 1,900 people actually do that every single month in America. Interestingly enough, 3,300 people do this worldwide. Now, why would somebody in the United Kingdom or Canada or United Arab Emirates looking for a plumber in San Francisco? Typically, it's because they are a property owner who lives in another country, but they own property in, maybe it's an Airbnb or they're renting it out as a long-term rental, and they need a plumber. They just happen to live outside of San Francisco. So 3,300 potential customers for you every single month, but it gets better because there's 719 keyword variations that total over 8,000 searches per month. So plumber San Francisco, plumber in San Francisco, there's 480 people searching for that per month. Plumbing in San Francisco, plumbing supply San Francisco. We probably won't bother ranking you for that because that one's just not relevant. There's San Francisco plumber, 480 people are searching for that. So it would take me a couple days of work to go through all these keyword variations and figure out which ones we should rank you for. And then if we need to create a separate page for each one, or if we can cluster some of those pages instead of, for example, 719 pages, maybe just 20 pages that target multiple phrases. There are questions that people ask that you will want to create a frequently asked questions page. We will actually want to create several frequently asked questions pages. We'll want to create a main frequently asked questions page that will sit here in the top menu. That's very general. And then as we create each page, we'll want to create a frequently asked questions section at the bottom of each one of these sections, and it will answer a lot of the questions that people have. There are also 174 related keywords. So for example, maybe they're not going to type specifically San Francisco. And I know you service entire Bay Area, which includes much more than San Francisco. For the purpose of this, so that this video is not 10 hours, I'm just going to use San Francisco. But people will type SF plumber. There's 590 people that are actually there's plumbers, so that's with the S added at the end of plumber. Plumbers San Francisco, 880. Plumbing in San Francisco, 480. SF plumbers, that's plumbers with an S end, 720 people. And so there's all of these hundreds of different variations, but it totals almost 40,000 monthly searches. Well, obviously, you couldn't possibly handle that many customers per month, but I'm giving you an example of the extreme potential that's out there. Now, we have lots of clients in San Francisco that do electrical and plumbing and commercial construction, residential construction, they're absolutely overwhelmed with the amount of business that they have. There's just so many customers there that all of the companies in San Francisco, they can't possibly handle all of the business. Same thing for Electrician San Francisco. 720 people in America are searching for that every single month, 1,200 worldwide. But there's 153 keyword variations that total over 1,600 monthly searches. And so you see some of them here, and then you see, there's questions, and then there's 59 related keywords that total over 15,000 searches. So some of these are going to be highly relevant to you, and some of them won't be relevant to you. So we won't bother ranking you for the irrelevant ones, but we definitely want to put in the effort to rank you for the relevant ones. It's going to be a lot of time and a lot of effort. Let's take a look at Handyman San Francisco. Every month, there are 590 people in America searching for a handyman in San Francisco and about 1,000 worldwide. So, Handyman San Francisco, Handyman Services San Francisco, San Francisco Handyman, Best Handyman San Francisco. Then over here, there's related keywords and so on and so forth. Now, if somebody is typing Best Handyman San Francisco, um, typically that's somebody who's willing to spend a lot of money. Typically, people who, if they're typing cheap handyman San Francisco, they're not going to be spending a lot of money. If they're typing best, they're looking to spend a lot of money. They have big budgets. And ranking you for those kinds of phrases, best anything, best plumber, best electrician, is very hard, but it's very worth it because you'll get 20 or 30 customers a month, but they'll spend five, 10, $15,000 per project. Versus somebody who's looking for cheap services, they're looking for somebody to charge $100 or $200. You probably don't want that. So here's a website that I am familiar with. So Ace Plumbing, and they really only focus on plumbing. They're not really doing all the other stuff that you're doing. They have way too many customers than they can handle. They're making an absolute fortune, and they're in the very high six figures, low seven figures per year. And so it is also a very simple website. This one's done on WordPress, which is far superior to Wix. And they basically spent about $5,000 designing this website, and they spend about $2,000 per month for SEO, but then they're earning hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they're gaining they're getting about 1,500 to 2,000 visitors every single month. And basically, that delivers to them about 75 to 100 customers per month. Now, they do residential and commercial. Obviously, the commercial projects are a lot bigger, but when you think about it, it's about $375,000 per month in revenue from just commercial projects. So spending, $2,000 a month is a no-brainer. It's a fraction of a percent to gain tons and tons and tons of business. Now, took about 3 months to build out the website, and then, it takes about 6 months to really gain steam with the SEO. But I want you to see, take a look at the difference. Look, they've got lots of pages. Look, they've got a full address with a street, an actual city. CA needs to be changed to California because there is a San Francisco in Canada, and you don't want to cause confusion. They have a zip code. They do need to USA to gain a point. They've got the phone number as well. If you take a look at their About Us page, it just has a lot more words on each and every page, and they have residential plumbing, multiple pages for plumbing, commercial plumbing. They've got multiple pages for each and every one of that. Now, let's say emergency plumbing. you see they have a page and it says if you look up here, up at the top of the screen where I'm hovering my mouse, it says San Francisco Emergency Plumber, 24-hour service in Daly City. And then you can't see it because it's truncated, but they've listed all the other cities. What ends up when you go to Google and you type San Francisco Emergency Plumber? Well, they're the one that shows up because they've targeted this specific page for that. And then it says emergency plumbing. And then they've used all the various combinations and they've made it make sense in their text. And they've got, all these different categories here. And in a couple months, I know they're going to be adding photos and they're going to be adding a video to this page as well. Like I said, they make millions of dollars a year, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just on that. They've got privacy policy, terms and condition. It's a very well built out website. They've got lots of useful information on each and everything, a mailing address, contact numbers, direct contacts, everything like that. And you gain points with Google every time you do that. And you end up getting a lot of customers. Now, I know these guys have way more customers than they can handle, and they're struggling with it. You probably don't want something that elaborate. You would tell me what you want. My recommendation to you, if you have a budget of a couple $1,000s to build out this website properly, that would be the most ideal and logical thing. If you don't have a budget to build out the website properly, that's okay. It just makes the whole thing take a lot longer. But I would tell you, depending on your budget, hop onto either the professional plan or the leader plan. And, if you have a budget for the website over and above that, that would be great. So we can build out the pages as I've described. Otherwise, just one of these plans on their own, and we'll get you moving up little by little every month. And until you're doing great and pulling in way more clients than you can ever handle. That's as much information as I can share with you today. That consultation was completed in 2022, so naturally we have a much larger SEO to-do list today to keep up with all the many requirements that Google and AI platforms have. Our standard operating procedure for SEO includes over 200 line items of work, depending on the project. The impact of SEO is exponential. When done correctly, it becomes a major business asset. This means that revenue continues to go up while paid advertising costs continue to go down. To recap this project, we completed our SEO checklist of over 200 tasks, such as the setup of Google Search Console, Google Analytics, Bing Webmaster Tools, fixing indexing problems, identifying the main competitors, full keyword research, technical SEO, on-page SEO, content creation, image SEO, off-page SEO, and finally conversion rate optimization. There's always much more. I can't list everything here. This video would be hours. The key results, 94 new customers every month, mostly on the plumbing side of the business. They show up for more than 170 keywords. And remember, this is all without ads. They have more than 1,000 monthly website visitors and a 300% increase in AI visibility. Smart companies, and I'm saying smart companies, usually invest 1 to 2% of their annual revenue into SEO because the return on investment can be extraordinary when executed correctly. The key word here being correctly. If you try to do SEO cheaply or quickly, if you try to cut corners, if you're one of those people, your business will never reach its full potential, and your smarter competitors will always defeat you. Visit my website link in the video description and request your 90-day free trial. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next case study.